I think we're all set up.
Perfect.
Okay. Do you want to start by? Well, first I'll introduce myself. My name is Renee. You can just say your name so whoever transcribes it knows.
Is someone actually transcribing this?
Yeah. Well, that way it makes my life so much easier. My plan is that I'm going to type up what I have from this conversation, but then to have it as a reference over the weekend. Someone actually found a service that might transcribe it, so we might be outsourcing to robots.
Look at this. Amazing.
All
Great.
Right. So just say your name.
Britt Walling.
Perfect. All right. So that's the intentions. Don't worry about the questions. I'll go over those. So I went through a couple of drafts and just like the idea behind this conversation. Also the idea behind like highlighting more kitchen and you especially as like the force behind Mr. Holmes. I want you reading the questions. It looks like you're already doing that. What do you think? So what do you think?
I think it's good.
Is it clear?
It's clear, which is good because it's important for me to know before you have any, at least for me personally, before you go into any interview, what the intent is. Also, I like this format, so it enables me to, I guess, calm down a little bit and not have quite so much of like the anxiety of like a camera in your face or somebody you don't know across the way. I don't know you. I'm going to tell you that.
Oftentimes, like my eyes are bigger than my stomach, and I'm like, lights, camera. We're gonna have like a Brit double in case there's any action.
I mean, you can do that if you set somebody outside on the roof or in that hammock there, and like I don't know, and then maybe I could sue.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, who knows? Right now, I'd be in trouble if I sued, but maybe can sue them.
Yeah. But I think, and also, I mean, I don't think you've seen him, but like the footage from the published thing, you were so personable and really articulate. And
good thing I didn't see it because I felt really nervous that time because I was like, I don't know you.
I saw mine. I think we probably had the same thing though, because I saw mine and I was like, this is horrible. Why are my teeth crooked? Didn't no one tell me? Like,
you're like, oh my god, do I look like that every day? Because in the mirror, I don't feel like I look like that.
Exactly.
Do I sound like that? That's the sound like that part is
totally.
Like, oh, why did people let me talk?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so we'll just get into the questions. This first one I didn't write, but Aaron felt it was really important.
I'm pretty sure it was Aaron that's going to write all the inappropriate ones.
It says, why Jake Gyllenhaal? Alright, Aaron just walked in.
I just need to putting this up so that because
There's a third voice. We don't really need this.
No, I'm doing this for you guys.
No, I feel like this means I'm going to have my photo for some reason. I didn't hear an email ping though.
This is like a typical Kramer situation where he's just barking, oh, no, I'm just here to help, guys. Do you mind if I sit down?
And he came in like that, too. Like this.
I think the printer's working. Britt tried to print something off.
It's not working.
Just put your laptop there and stand there for an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. It says, why Jake Gyllenhaal? Jake looks borderline incompetent in a side-by-side play of Tobey Maguire and the Spider-Man takes.
There's Spider-Man takes with him in it?
I'm assuming Jake Gyllenhaal and Tobey Maguire were featured in Spider-Man?
I don't know that, and I don't think so, but maybe they're up for the same role.
Okay.
And Tobey got it above Jake, or maybe he declined it, which is smart because that was the most comical and it was terrible. It was terrible.
And also, I love Jake. Jarhead.
Thank you.
Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko, enough said.
Yeah. He's a classic.
Exactly. It was the one that in LA, Traffic, or so, no, it was something where
Crash.
he's with that one. No. He was a film guy that would just go after chase
Nightcrawler.
That one. That was fantastic
was
and super creepy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really good Jake material out there and also comical. He's funny, he doesn't take himself seriously. He seems like he's down to earth. He's into food, really loves Alice Waters, was on the now defunct Mario Batali show.
Okay.
Ages ago, really into food, very personable, feel like he's down to earth. You would see him out, t-shirt, jeans.
Yeah, he's a normal guy.
Normal guy.
So I don't even understand. Like Tobey Maguire doesn't even seem he's in any of those things.
No.
When was the last time you saw Tobey Maguire out in jeans?
I don't even remember the last time I saw Tobey Maguire in a movie.
Exactly.
Let's put it that way. I'm sorry,
Like
Jake's in
Seabiscuit
like
or-
10. He's in that Boston Marathon. The last one I probably saw was the Cider House Rules.
Cider.
8 years ago.
Dude, I almost feel like the character Nightcrawler was like a spiritual successor to Donnie Darko because they were the same weird,
awkward, where you don't know if they go to the creepies. They're on the spectrum somewhere.
Yeah,
and you don't know, and you're a little bit uncomfortable, but you have to keep watching because you're like, you're really smart and you're really scary, almost like a sociopath, but I don't know.
Like, you're rooting for him, but you also are not his friend. You're like, we just don't hang out.
No, we don't, but I want you to succeed, but you make me feel uncomfortable, and I feel like you might do something that, like a Maverick trick. And
You're a wild card. I can't trust you.
Exactly.
So this next one I did right. Okay, it says, if you were casting the Hollywood blockbuster of your life, and so some tentative titles were Brioche Baller or Lioness of Lemonation.
Ooh, I like that one.
Who would you cast as yourself, and why is it Winona Ryder?
And why is it Winona Ryder? Who would I cast as myself? Interesting.
Yeah.
This is a good one. It's a conundrum because I feel like it would be a few different people.
All right,
I feel like I'm not one.
Yeah, you could do like the Bob Dylan documentary where it was like 4 different people.
Love Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
That was really good, by the way. Because wasn't Cate Blanchett in there?
Yeah, Cate Blanchett was the best one.
See? Probably a little bit of Natalie Portman because I like some of the depth she can go to.
Yeah, I can see that.
She has some of that. I like that. But I need somebody a little bit funnier than her. She's not really funny. She doesn't deliver on that area.
No, she can be super serious.
Yeah.
Conversely, Keira Knightley is also like she's not a. I feel like she's not a Natalie Portman though.
No, but
she's in the same category.
But she can also be a little bit more. I don't know. I can see her being funny, and it's not as like Natalie. You just feel like, oh, she's trying.
Yeah.
Like you feel like, oh,
like she's a very serious person, and she's just not used to comedy. Like.
Exactly. And then I feel like I'm inappropriate as Kristen Wiig or like Melissa McCarthy or something that could be really funny.
Yeah.
Sandra Bullock. It would be Sandra Bullock. I feel like she has a good mix of things. She can be serious, and then she can be funny, and she can be like the physical comedy, or she can be actually funny.
But we're talking about like Miss Congeniality, Sandra Bullock, right? That period.
Or like Heat.
Heat's a good one, yeah, totally.
I feel like that one. I feel like that.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with that.
Okay. All right. Next question. Can we talk about RuPaul's Drag Race and Basketball Wives? The mic is yours.
Love Drag Race.
Okay.
Love it. Hilarious. So funny. Amazing to watch the fashions and make me feel a little bit insecure about myself as a woman.
They're so good.
Not gonna lie. The makeup skills, the way they carry themselves, the way they can walk in heels, fierce, the death drop. Love it. Can't get enough of it. So much fun.
Who's your queen?
I think it was Raja.
Is it Raja? What season was that?
I think it was the second one.
Okay.
But again, I binge watched it when I was in Copenhagen and pregnant and kind of like landlocked. And I couldn't go out that much because it was too big. But loved it. So good. And also Courtney Act. It was supposed to be like Caught in the Act, but that was her plan names. She made me scared because it was like, you are so beautiful, and I would never know like the amount of work you put into yourself. And you would see the guy, and then you see that when she's in her full drag. Oh my god, that's amazing! It's an art form.
Well, I've literally only seen one episode with Jeremy, and he was so upset that I never watched it afterwards. And not that I didn't want to, but like the amount of detail and layers between the characters and this person from this season and this culture of this. I really want to see the movie. It's based off kind of. I've seen Paris is Burning. So Paris is Burning was like I think a documentary on like the ballroom scene in New York. I think in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
And so that's where a lot of drag originates, where it's like they have the different houses, and because a lot of like queer men were like cast out of their families, they would create houses and stuff like mothers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they would take people in and care for them.
Oh, interesting.
And so Paris is Burning is like this like I only know of it because Frank Ocean like sampled it, but they're creating a show now that's like based off of Paris is Burning, so it's like the original drag scene back then.
Interesting.
Yeah. Basketball Wives. I've heard you talk about this, but I've never gotten into it.
I don't watch that.
No?
No, it's Housewives.
Oh, it's Housewives. That's right.
Housewives. Love it.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah. Wait, is it Housewives is different than Basketball Wives?
Yeah, but well, I mean, it's essentially like the same premise.
The same universe.
It's just so Housewives is just about really wealthy housewives, or it's sometimes a single woman who just are filmed in dramatic scenes with each other and just living in some of the most glamorous cities in the actually now the world. They have world franchises in different cities. But I just think it's interesting. It's kind of like a case study and just like how you can be that way with this much money. And it's fascinating. Like you get caught up in minutia of stuff that doesn't really matter. But it's funny. I love the drama because I'm not a dramatic person, but it's fun to watch. You're like, ooh.
Do you think it's like a net positive or like a net negative? The amount of money you would have?
I think it's both. I think you see some that really took it in a great way. That like they made it themselves. Mm-hmm. And there's some that just are kind of living just to exist with just material things, and then to see how that it's just kind of an interesting sociological case study just to see the difference in the cities and what drives people if they're driven, and you know how they've progressed over whatever amount of seasons this is. It's really interesting.
One of the interesting things for me is that like, so when this was all starting, there was like this idea, like the Kim Kardashians and all of them, they were like famous for no reason, so stupid, and then like over time this narrative has developed where it's like, no, like yes, a lot of people get 15 minutes of fame. Not everyone turns into billion-dollar empires, right?
No, yeah,
and so
exactly.
there's like a pop culture, like it's almost like you're a pop culture genius.
I almost feel like you should have Andy Warhol's face on the beginning of every reality TV show in the world, just for his his famous statement of everyone wants their 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah, exactly.
More so for that reason, you just let him know, just like, is it worth it? Is it?
I think it's so fascinating.
Yeah.
And the same thing, like you can draw these parallels with like minimalism, right? That art form, and then current trap music, where it's like all about emotion and feeling, and really dissecting what a song is and taking it apart. And like some people would look at a white painting and be like, that's bullshit, I could do it. It's like, well, you didn't do
it. Well, you didn't, and you didn't market it, and you weren't the time. Yeah. But I can, especially for me, in art history major, like that stuff's fascinating.
You were an art history major? Is that what you graduated, or did you?
Graduated. Okay. So I went to college first for art history and psychology. Graduated and then went to culinary school afterwards.
So actually, one of these questions says you originally started with a career in the medical field.
Oh no, I wanted to.
Okay,
that was my intent to enter college as pre-med.
Okay.
And then I was kind of behind in some math classes that I was like, oh my god, if I'm already behind, I'm going to be in school for 12 years.
Yeah.
So I was just like, let me just go in. Yeah, math is not really my big strong point. So then I went in undecided until I kind of figure out where I gravitated towards and what I kind of really enjoyed in just like basal classes. And then I actually went into more PR. And then I don't know why, I just kind of got burned out with some of, I don't know if it was just even the writing styles or things you had to do for journalism.
Yeah.
Because I think I was a little bit more poetic than some of the writing styles of journalism. It was cut to the point. And so I think I got frustrated and I just needed a break. So I took a semester off and changed schools. So I went home and I just always knew I loved food, and I worked for my aunt's cafe and then part-time somewhere else. So I was working 2 jobs. And then I went to TCU and I decided it was like art history. Let's just try that.
What was it about art history that you liked that made you find it? Because it seemed like you tried a couple of different things.
Yeah, I tried. So I think it was just being fascinated. I really like Baroque and Renaissance. And then just taking more classes and just kind of, it encompasses so much. So I think that it's a really great major for like pre-law, because you have to argue a lot.
Yeah.
And argue your points, and necessarily doesn't mean you're right or you're wrong. It just means you have to have succinct points and back them up and have be clear and confident in your answers, and also have like realistic reasons. That being said, you have to know so much. So you have to know not only the art medium, the form, the religious time, like what was going on in the day, also government, time period, what was happening historically. So there's so much that you have to know that kind of expands. And then when you get later art, you have to know psychologically what was going on as well. So you have to know so many different components and really be versed in a lot of different subjects to be able to understand fully what was going on in art. And it's a lot of the only form of communication we have from before the Neolithic time. Like that's the only communication we have to know kind of what was going on with pictorials.
Yeah.
So it's always been known as a great form of communication, and it's the way some people can only express themselves in art. So for me, it's a very interesting and I don't know. I just really loved it. For nothing else than I just loved to be in it and immersed in it. It was really great.
Well, I've only ever taken like one art history class, and that's exactly what you're saying. Where it's like there's so many layers. So like, well, this painting is beautiful in its own regard, but then you look at the color of the fabric and the position of the person and their position to other people in there. In a really like reductive way, it's like tying it to like food and pastry, or even like, you know, like you said, law. It's like, yeah, you have to like see something which may look very simple from the outside.